They ask why you don't speak much anymore, why you don't explain like you used to, why you seem distant, cold, detached. It's because you've learned something most people never do. Explaining yourself to the wrong people is a form of self-betrayal. You used to pour your heart out to those who didn't care. You used to clarify your intentions, defend your decisions, prove your worth. And every time you did, you felt smaller. Not because they didn't understand, but because they never wanted to. They weren't listening to hear you. They were listening to find a weakness. And when they found one, they used it. So now you've stopped talking, not because you have nothing to say, but because you finally realize who deserves your voice. You've realized that not everyone gets access to you. Your thoughts, your energy, your plans. They are sacred, and silence protects what words would ruin. There's a strange kind of power in not reacting. When you no longer explain your moves, your silence becomes the loudest thing in the room. It confuses them. It irritates them, because they can't figure you out anymore. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what you're planning. And most importantly, they can't influence it. You're no longer a puppet pulled by opinions. You've cut the strings, and now you move in silence, on your own terms. There was a time you begged to be understood. Now you've let go of that need. You don't crave being seen. You crave being free. Free from the weight of proving yourself. Free from the noise of endless opinions. Free from the emotional drain of over-explaining who you are to those committed to misunderstanding you. Let them think what they want. Let them assume. Your job is not to change their mind. Your job is to stay true to yours. Some people only respect what they can't access. When you become less available, you become more valuable. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. The lion doesn't need to roar to prove it's a lion. It's respected in silence. It moves with presence. It leads without needing approval. Be like that. Let your actions speak so loudly that your silence becomes your signature. Let your growth become your language. Let your peace become your answer. The people who truly know you, they don't need explanations. And the ones who keep demanding them, they're not interested in truth. They're addicted to control. You owe no one a report on your healing. You owe no one a justification for your boundaries. You owe no one an apology for doing what's right for your soul. Protect your space. Not everyone gets a front row seat to your evolution. Some can only watch from a distance. And that's exactly where they belong. Because your silence isn't just quiet, it's a filter. It removes the ones who were only there for the performance, not the progress. Silence is also your training ground. It's where you build discipline, where you face your inner chaos without distraction, where you start becoming something no one saw coming. They'll wonder why you disappeared, why you don't reply, don't engage, don't react. They'll say you've changed, and they're right. You've changed into someone who doesn't seek validation anymore, someone who doesn't chase understanding from the blind, someone who has finally learned your peace is louder than any argument. You don't explain your purpose to people who live without one. You don't explain your discipline to people owned by comfort. You don't explain your fire to people who've never felt heat. Let them think you're arrogant. Let them say you're mysterious. Let them guess, doubt, assume, and whisper. All while you build. All while you evolve. All while you become the person they never imagined you could be. This world is full of noise. Everyone talking, no one listening. Everyone performing, few becoming. But you've chosen a different path. The path of quiet mastery, of inner strength, of walking away from noise and into power. Don't break your silence just to be heard. Speak only when it adds value to your soul, not when it makes others comfortable. Because in the end, the one who moves in silence moves with clarity. The one who stops explaining becomes unstoppable, and the one who no longer needs to be understood becomes untouchable. This is your time, not to be louder, but to be sharper. Not to explain, but to execute. Not to seek permission, but to reclaim power. Stay silent, stay focused, stay powerful.